Welcome to the BAM Sports Show.
I carefully place all of it in various trash cans around.
Any other headlines you guys are interested in tomorrow?
I'll poop in a urinal.
It's going to be a wet one.
He shoots, he scores, you suck.
Rick's wife is going to make him sleep in the bathroom tub tonight.
A dark horse candidate of where I may eventually want to end up living for good.
Welcome to a brand new sports show experience coming through your wavelengths. Let's get ready to have some fun. So sit back, crack open a drink, and let's talk some sports.
What up, family? Welcome to the BAM Sports Show. It's
Brian's
your boy
here.
Blake. It is Friday,
Skin of my teeth.
January 20th. Divisional round NFL playoffs. I'm joined tonight with the whole fucking crew. The only one we're missing tonight is Rob, who's trying to hop on. He's leaving work here soon. But hey, life happens, right, Ryan?
What?
Life
Oh,
happens.
yeah, life.
Woo,
Life
baby.
does indeed happen.
Welcome, boys. Welcome, family. How's everyone doing tonight? Is that better or worse?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
like
better.
that better.
That's way
I think
better.
it's better.
Much better.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. In the comments, let us know if you don't like that. If you don't like to see our ugly mugs, let us know. and I'll
Actually,
make
don't.
it better.
Keep
Fill
your
the
opinion
comments
to
up.
yourself. You
No, let
asshole.
the comments flow, baby. Let it flow. We are a
Direct
sports show. Most
message.
importantly, we are a stupid fucking sports show. A lot of the fucking shit that we say doesn't make sense until you rewatch it again after you've had a couple whiskeys, or in Rick's case, Malort's.
Yeah, it's like
drink of
whose
champion.
line is it anywhere, where the points don't matter.
It's kind of like the NFL. Points don't matter because the ref's gonna have the final say, aren't they?
That's exactly right.
Well, the Packers are out.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
yeah, Packers
And-
are
and
out.
Tom Brady.
is
And
out,
Brady.
so
Already, yeah.
this will
Brady.
probably be the
Seahawks
most evenly
out.
called football
Actually,
we'll see for the
it's
last
a-
20 years.
It's a fun fact. The Packers, they didn't even make it to the playoffs.
No shit.
Fun.
I think that's a
fact.
fun fact too.
I think most of America thinks that's. Keith, do you think that's a fun fact?
Hilarious.
We're gonna leave Keith
gonna
alone.
turn that
We're gonna leave
way.
Keith
It's
alone.
Uh,
We're
I've been
not
dealing.
gonna pick on
Can I ask you a
Keith.
question?
Hey Keith, what time the
What's it like
Packers
being
play on
worst
Sunday?
team?
Never mind.
Same time the Bears play.
Hey, we
in
picked first,
Seattle.
bitch. We're already on the clock. You can't hurt me.
Not on the clock.
We
Until
are on the
February 12th
We're
or
on the
whenever the
clock.
Super Bowl is.
On the clock, baby. Well, welcome, boys. We are excited for a fun show tonight. As always, we are live on the BAM Sports Show YouTube and Let's Talk Sports YouTube channels. So let's get into some football stuff, shall we?
Absolutely.
sure.
Football.
Some news around the league. Anything hot jumping out before we get into the games?
A lot of firings.
A lot of
Lot of
fire.
fire.
A lot of firings. A few
Um,
surprising ones too.
Yeah, who's surprising to you?
Yeah.
Who shocks you?
I would say Byron Leftwich from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, the
Because-
coordinator.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's been the offensive coach there for like 9 or 10 years, something like that. And for the most part, I was reading a thing earlier, and I can't remember it off the top of my head, but for the most part, like they were, up until this year, they were one of, even with Winston behind center, they were one of the higher scoring teams in the league on offense. And I
And
remember
defense,
watching.
too. Don't forget that because he threw
Yeah,
a lot of
defense, too.
interceptions.
Yeah. But no, I mean, they were on offense that, interceptions aside, like they still scored a lot of points on offense. And they fired him, I feel really almost kind of like just because Tom Brady had a terrible year. Tom Brady didn't play well.
I
you
think
heard it
I
on-
think Tom Brady was the problem.
I don't know if
No.
Tom Brady was.
I don't know
the
if Brady
only
was the-
problem.
He wasn't
only
the only
problem.
problem.
It's
but-
I mean, they had.
sacrilegious say, but it's Tom Brady.
You got to think they had
You
what?
know, like injuries and
Years of the offensive
a
line.
lot of, yeah.
people with
Like, at one
butterfingers.
point, they were pulling a dude out of the third row in the fucking stadium. Like, hey, you play football?
real-
You do now.
It's a
Yeah.
real hockey game situation,
Yeah.
real Blackhawk situation there. huh?
Yeah, basically. Except the
from what I
Blackhawks
was
did win a
reading-
game the other night, which I don't like.
Yeah.
Hmm.
From what I was reading, though, apparently they were kind of pining to get rid of him well before they got eliminated from the playoffs, which is kind of surprising to me. And
Do
it,
you think
it's
that was a Brady
unfortunate.
decision?
I don't know. I mean, I don't see Brady coming back there, whether that means retirement
No.
or playing somewhere else.
Mhm.
I don't think he returns back to Tampa. But it's just kind of crazy to me. It really is. And it's a shame too, because I really feel like Byron Leftwich is going to have a difficult time getting a head coaching job now for sure.
Sure.
With this kind of stain on his reputation after, kind of a rough year where they had like a couple of spike moments. You look at the Carolina game that won them the division. But other than that, it was a relatively stagnant offense, even when they were completely healthy. That first game against the Cowboys, they won
I'm just gonna interject here real quick. When he led that drive against Carolina, what did we all say in our group chats?
oh yeah, vintage Brady for sure. But I mean,
Right.
like I was watching Undisputed. I often like watching Undisputed, watching Shannon Sharpe just absolutely unload on Skip Bayless. But
Yep.
Skip.
There's no way they get an extension on that show.
Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be
Shannon
another
Sharpe
thing to
would laugh
watch.
at their face. He hates Skip Bayless. You can see it.
Oh, 100%. 100%. 100%. No, but kind of an interesting point that he made, and I kind of agree with him, is that, Tom Brady, as great as he is, the single greatest quarterback of all time, he's getting up there in age, and sure, like anybody can summons it up, for, at least some point during the season, but clearly we saw without an absolute stalwart offensive line. And, don't get me wrong, any quarterback is going to struggle behind a bad offensive line.
Right.
But he was never mobile to begin with. And now he's approaching age 46 behind a wet paper bag of an offensive line. Like, sure, a couple of times he could summons it up, but he just didn't look that good this year.
But why are you still sold on Vegas then? Because their offensive line is almost as bad, if not worse, with starters.
And their defense is so much worse too. That's what was pulling Brady across the finish line, in my opinion.
Yeah. The Bucs defense definitely took a step back.
They have a top 3 wide receiver there. They have the coach there that he's very familiar with. I know we talk a lot of trash about Josh McDaniels, but he was with Brady as his offensive coordinator for a number of years, so there's familiarity there.
There's also
and I
some
don't
Josh
know
McDaniels news.
And I don't know that the Raiders' offensive line, as it currently sits, is much worse than what the Bucs currently have.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so you're not getting a much better situation. Like, yes, Devontae Adams is better than Mike Evans. I'll give you that. Yes, 100% agree. But is the Buccaneers wide receiver core in, Godwin and Julio and Russell Gage Jr., are they better than Devontae Adams,
Renfro,
what's his name? Walker?
Waller.
Darren
Waller.
Okay, well then you got the new young tight end there in Tampa. Defenses are about the same, right?
No. I think Tampa Bay's defense is better than Oakland's.
Okay, so
Vegas.
Well, both.
Yeah,
both because Oakland's defense is terrible.
Yeah,
they didn't have any fucking stops this year.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying?
No.
So I think the Devontae Adams piece is a big lure, but now let me ask you this before we get off this topic real quick. Do you think if the Raiders were to fire Josh McDaniels and land Sean Payton, does that increase the chances or decrease the chances of Tom Brady landing in Vegas?
Well, I don't see Sean Payton going to Vegas. I think everything that I'm reading all signs are pointing towards Denver.
It wasn't the fucking question. This is journalism, Rick.
Right. I understand. However, to your point, if they landed Sean Payton, I don't think that it hurts their chances by any means, because if you remember last offseason, before he retired and then unretired, there was this whole thing behind the scenes of Sean Payton and Tom Brady wanting to team up in Miami.
I mean,
so
didn't the Dolphins lose a first-round pick because of that?
They did.
Yeah. So at worst, I don't think it hurts. And if God
Do you
willing,
think it helps though? Like if you're the Raiders and you're iffy on McDaniels, and Brady comes to you and says, "Look, fire McDaniels, bring Payton in, and I'll come to Oakland, or I'll come to Vegas."
Yeah, I could see
that
happening.
benefit their chances. You think?
I think it definitely could for sure. Again, given the fact they were trying to team up in Miami last year.
So in my opinion, those two are going to try to team up again this offseason anyways.
Yeah. It very well could.
It cost like to Ryan's point, it cost Miami a first round pick. Now they're both essentially free agents. They can do it legally. If they were willing to do it illegally last year, they more than willing, I would assume, to do it legally this year. Right.
Well, with the exception of the fact that the Saints still own the rights to Sean Payton. So the Saints, I think they're requesting like at least at a minimum a first round pick.
Yeah.
For the rights to Sean Payton.
But is that going to keep you from firing your coach or hiring Sean Payton, sending a first round for Tom Brady? For Sean Payton and Tom Brady, if they feel like your organization's ready and can do it in the next year.
And that's tough. That's
you know what I'm saying? Because like essentially, you're. I mean, I think they're a package, almost like a package deal this offseason. I may be wrong, right? I commonly am and often am. And Ryan, jump in if you have a thought here, or Keith, Danny. But
I have many thoughts.
Let's hear it then. Let's go.
Oh, none of them pertain to this.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding.
Never mind then.
Well, and one last kind of wild card that I'll throw out there, and this is a pipe dream. This is a Hail Mary. But the Cardinals are actively trying to trade DeAndre Hopkins this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine if, because everything I'm reading is saying that the Raiders are going to try to aggressively go after Tom Brady this offseason. If they somehow manage to pull that off and land DeAndre Hopkins. So you have DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow. Not a terrible situation.
Who's going to run the football in Oakland at that point?
Josh Jacobs.
You're going to hand Josh Jacobs a bag?
Yeah.
Nobody's in Oakland.
Think Josh Jacobs is going to leave?
Vegas. Fuck. Who's a free agent?
I know.
Going to hand him a bag?
See, I think
there's rumors about it. About them.
I would. I'd love Bears hand him a bag. If we're not going to sign Barkley, pay Jacobs.
Or Monty.
See, if I'm in Oakland, and I think I'm the only one in this chat here who actually thinks Tom Brady's is done. Like, I don't know if he'll officially retire, but I think he should. I think so much of what went wrong in Tampa Bay was on him. We can talk about the offensive line as much as, but there's so many times he's just throwing at the feet of Evans and Gollin like 8 yards away, and he's
noodle arm.
Yeah, I think Oakland, Vegas, best chance in the free agency right now is actually Jimmy Garoppolo.
I think the best chance is the guy they have.
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr. No, I mean, I'm not swapping Derek Carr for Jimmy Garoppolo.
I would. That bridge is burnt, though.
Go ahead, Danny. This is what I feel about Jimmy Garoppolo versus Derek Carr. I feel like their ceilings are about the same height, but I feel like Garoppolo is way the hell higher than Derek. Derek Carr's.
I'll drink to that because
Oakland. Okay, if Oakland, Vegas. I'm going to say Oakland.
Moving forward, autocorrect, please change any sort of Oakland to Vegas in voiceovers. Thanks. Appreciate it.
We don't have that AI.
Autocorrect.
We hopefully do.
If they decide to be like just an offensive line juggernaut, a run-first offense with someone like Jimmy G who can not turn over the football, throw, a decent, 20 passes a game, not 30 or 40, and just have that be, I think they'd be so much better than they would be with Derek Carr or Tom Brady. I'm not saying that and you'd get, I would assume you'd pay a lot less for Jimmy for Jimmy Garoppolo than you would for Tom Brady.
See, I don't know about that because Tom historically, even in his quote unquote prime, always historically, kind of signed a team friendly deal to build around him.
Yes.
So
But
I don't know that
depends on
you're
the
gonna,
team, though, doesn't it?
I don't know. See, I don't know. I think that he's
That's a
willing to
Ryan
go to a
question.
situation that, I mean, look at like when he left New England, they didn't really have anybody for him to throw the ball to. Jacoby Myers hadn't really started to come into his own yet, but they had Chris Godwin, they had Mike Evans, Gronk came out of retirement. He was able to string AB along to a better situation down there, and he took less
AB
money.
just kind of strung himself along, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
What
that's
was
a
a
whole
Ryan
nother
question,
topic.
Danny?
What like Tom Brady's salary was in Tampa Bay?
Oh, yeah, that's easy.
Yeah, the salary guru.
All right, so let's do this real quick. While Ryan's looking at it, we'll have quarterback carousel real quick.
Real quick, though, actually, they can't fire McDaniels because they're too cash poor.
Oh,
Like, they
That
do
is-
not have the actual money.
I think that's the case. True. I think that's.
And then
true.
also, the rumored reason right now that Josh McDaniels ended up turning down that Colts job is the funniest goddamn thing I think I've heard. Have you heard this yet?
no, do tell.
Tell me.
Is it about? Yeah.
McDaniels'
yeah.
wife made him pull the plug after having hearsay in their home in Massachusetts and observing his odd behavior. Behavior that included being in the McDaniels family bathroom for, quote, a very long and awkward period of time.
That's
What
funny.
What do you think that? What is that number for you guys?
What number?
Like you have someone over, you eat dinner, like they eat your dinner. They're like, oh, I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick.
Like how many minutes?
Yeah, like how long are they in that bathroom before
someone
it
else.
becomes awkward?
6.
6 minutes?
No, dude. What?
Is that too long or too short?
Too short,
you
man.
Short.
Do you
Too
see
short.
my eyes right now?
Like
I don't even know what's going on.
Keith,
Hey,
what's the number?
what-
Keith,
Get
what's
out
the
of
number?
there.
20 minutes,
What are
I
you
was
doing?
saying, like-
You jerking off
Me?
dude. Just
for 20
He's
minutes?
masturbating.
see when
He's
when you're in the
masturbating.
bathroom, it's none of your business what I'm doing.
Oh, this is my bathroom. I don't want
It
your
doesn't
little
matter.
shower babies on my toilet seat.
After 20 minutes, you can start asking questions and knocking on the door. Between that, if I can jerk off in 19 minutes, that's a concern.
Keith, what's your answer? What's your awkward time?
I said 10.
10.
10 minutes, you're gonna knock on the door in 10 minutes.
I have one bathroom in my house.
Oh, so that's like, hey, buddy, you're holding up the line. Here.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I said 6
My wife got a
minutes.
shit too.
yeah,
Rick,
One bathroom.
6 minutes. Holy
I think I'm
Lord.
probably at about the 20-minute mark as well.
right.
20.
That's
I
Yeah.
think like 13 to 15 minutes, right? Like anything
Before you knock
more
on the
than that
door?
kind of becomes awkward. Yeah.
In my house,
So basically, you got
think-
guys. If you're gonna visit Ryan for dinner, you got to speak
Ryan's
shit.
house.
Shit
Dude.
it
in
out.
my
I-
house,
yeah.
There's a
in
timer
my house,
on the outside of
I-
the door.
yeah, in my house, I take 20 to 25, 30-minute shits.
My
I was gonna say,
toilet.
man,
All
it takes me like 5
In
minutes.
my
to wipe.
house. If I go to your house, I'm getting my business done as quick as possible and getting the fuck out of there.
You
I
are
don't
such
even
a
wanna do
shitty
it.
sports
Like
show.
shampoo bottles to read.
No pun
I don't want to be
intended.
there. I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
What a shitty
Plus,
sports
I don't
show.
like pooping on other people's toilets anyway.
I hate it.
Or you poop in them, don't poop on them. No one likes the
Yeah.
upper decker.
I think what happened to Ursa is
No,
he
I-
wasn't
I
shitting.
do.
Is I think he was like putting out his cocaine to do a line, and it just got everywhere.
I think he fell
Good
asleep.
God almighty.
Like he put
Like,
a whole bag
honestly,
of cocaine.
He's old. I bet they
Ridiculous.
had like a really nice warm bathroom.
Oh,
he
like
just sat down and he just fell asleep.
Have you guys
My
been
bathroom is
sat on those
super-
toilets that actually have like the cushion on them?
Yeah,
Oh,
they've got
dude,
one.
those are
Look
nice.
at look at
what
Josh
if-
McDaniels. That dude has never touched a hard toilet seat in his life.
Yeah,
they have a bidet.
like a
And Jim
lazy
was
boy
like, oh, this is
toilet.
nice, and just kept using the bidet.
Oh,
What if it
man.
comes out that like the wife thinks like 5 minutes is an awkward time?
Dude, my sister did.
She's got IBS. She's got to get in there.
So my brother-in-law is like best friends. Like he was friends with me before he started like seeing my sister.
How do you feel
And-
about your friend fucking your sister?
I don't think about it.
I don't think about it either, because the same thing happened to me.
Problem solved. I just pretend like, oh, they adopted 3 kids. But she's telling me, man, Joe, sometimes in the bathroom for like 5, sometimes 10 minutes. I don't know what he's doing on there. I go in there, I bang on the door, like, hey, what are you doing in there? You got to come out there. You're taking too long to do it. And then the kids come in with me and they start banging on the door too. I'm like,
Leave that man be.
woman.
Yeah.
Like, that's the, like, come for a hard, like, 12-hour shift. You got screaming, the wife
I'm
nagging
telling
at
you right.
And now's
I'll
a
tell
great
you
time.
all
to the
right
bathroom.
now.
Now's
The
a
most
great
comfortable
time.
seat in the house is the toilet.
Yeah,
After
but
a
after
long
Danny's-
day, like, oh god.
After Danny's story, it's a good time to remind everybody that you're not alone. If you need someone to talk to, reach out to someone. Talk to someone.
Talk to Leather Danny. I'm here.
Leather Danny is here for you. He'll jack off in your bathroom in 19 minutes for a low flat rate of $19.99.
Yeah, just tell me your problems or secrets. And I'll just be in your bathroom.
All right, let's get back to sports, 'cause we are way the fuck off topic tonight. Holy
This could be a
shit.
sport. All right.
I got distracted by what you guys are talking about, Sean Payton. Apparently, Shannon Sharpe is trying to fight the Memphis Grizzlies right now.
The who?
He's trying to what?
He's courtside of the Memphis Grizzlies. And
Nice.
there's a
Who's he
big-
trying to fight?
The entire team.
Fuck yeah.
Uncle Shannon.
So it looks
NBA
like he
Hell
started,
yeah.
fuck, we need some ratings. Give us a fight.
he started jawing with Dylan Brooks with the Grizzlies, and then he started jawing with T. Morant, who is John Morant's father.
Yeah.
And like, this is at the start of the second quarter, or into the second quarter, and like Shannon Sharpe had to be pulled away by security guards.
Cool.
Ooh.
Wow.
Man's going through one.
He's like,
yeah,
"Fuck
apparently.
You look like Skip. I'll beat your ass.
Skip.
Like I don't know who this tall guy is that plays for the Grizzlies. He's got long hair, a lot of tattoos. But he's trying to get to Shannon.
Jesus.
Cool.
Jesus.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Right,
UFC
world
now
breaking
sponsors
development.
the NBA. Holy shit.
And also, before we move on, Danny,
Yes, sir.
the answer to your Tom Brady question.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. That was like
is,
30 minutes ago.
so for his 2020 to 2021 contract, there was his total guarantee was $50 million.
Okay. How much did he
his-
end up?
Say that again.
Okay, that was guarantee. How much did he actually make?
If you could break
20
that down by
25 a year.
TB12 and Giselle funds, it'd be great.
He's made 25 a year every year at Tampa, except for last year. And last year, his cap hit was only 11,896,000.
Someone's got to do the math with me. So do I add the 11 million to the 25 or because the
all
25 is
that
guaranteed?
hit was 11 million, right? That's all the number you need to know.
Yeah, well, no,
That's all he made was 11 million.
his only the only thing that counted towards their salary cap was that 11,896,000.
I was just trying to
His
figure out how
yearly
much
cash was 30 million.
he got. That's the total he made from
Right.
that was his paycheck was 30 million.
Yep.
Okay, that's not.
And his total, but the years before his total was 25 million a year.
That was the 25 was guaranteed. Was what was guaranteed, and then usually there's something on top of what's guaranteed, right?
Like incentives and stuff.
The guaranteed is, yeah, I guess that's the minimum amount.
Right, because usually it's like, hey, we're signing you to like a $50 million contract, 30 of which is guaranteed. So like, if we cut you, you're at least gonna get this, right?
Yeah.
Unless that was
that's,
also the max.
I think that might have just been the max.
We're no matter what. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
if it's 25. Well, because if 1 year is making 30, that's there's a lot of quarterbacks that are at 30 million, right? I mean, not a huge amount, but at least like
He
six.
is the 8th highest paid quarterback.
Okay. So
So if that puts
That
it in
could-
perspective.
yeah, that does.
And
Out of
that's
32.
that's by cap hit.
Right, but still probably tiered though. There's probably after 30. Who's the highest paid? Was Wilson the highest paid quarterback right now?
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson. Jesus.
And his comes with free massages too.
His
Yeah.
$54.9 million. Second
A year?
place is Dak. This is just for
$50
this
million
year.
a year.
Did you say second highest paid quarterback in the league was Dak?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Oh man.
He had a cap hit for $49.1 million. Mahomes
Garoppolo
is 46.7. Allen is 39.7, and Tannehill is 36.
Hey Keith, can you
Jesus,
look up
jeez.
who Dak
No.
Prescott's agent is for me?
Get him on the
That
phone.
dude is a fucking salesman. Holy shit.
I need to-
Dak
he's-
Prescott, the
he's-
second highest paid quarterback in the league.
I don't even know that it's that he necessarily had to have like
It's who?
Todd France.
MVP right there of the Dallas fucking Cowboys.
I don't even know that he necessarily had to have like some master negotiator of an agent, but I think he just played a game of chicken with Jerry Jones and won because they kept franchise tagging him. Or giving him like these little pissant like 1-year deals, you know,
I get
until
it, still like holy shit.
no, yeah,
Okay.
Jerry folded like a lawn chair.
So
He needed
I just
to.
I just looked up a couple of those, and I assume we'd be getting paid a lot more than this if we went to Oakland. But right now he's getting paid $7 million a year.
Mhm.
So I assume his contract
never-
would be a lot cheaper than Brady.
He's like pretty much never put together a full season. It feels like.
yeah, I guess he's been hurt.
Yeah, but they're not expecting a full season because they benched Derek Carr after what, week 14, 15? So they'll bench Jimmy G then.
Mhm.
What about Baker Mayfield to Vegas?
I'd like that. I'd
It'd
be
be
interested in
interesting.
any team that Baker goes to.
All right, so real quick before we
You at
move
least-
on,
Yeah.
teams that need a quarterback: Tampa Bay Buccaneers,
The Colts,
Uh,
maybe.
Indianapolis
The
Colts, Houston
The
Texans.
Colts always need a quarterback.
Tampa Bay.
Um,
Tampa Bay might need one.
yeah, so I got Tampa, Vegas, Indy,
The Jets.
Houston, the Jets. Now
Tennessee.
there's an interesting one for Brady.
Mhm.
Tennessee. Well, yeah, Tennessee, but they're paying. Isn't Tannehill on a deal still?
But he's about. He's kind of second tier now, isn't he? Isn't he? Bench.
Right, but I think they're still paying him a lot of money.
Who is the
Yeah.
question?
Ryan
Tannehill.
Tannehill.
Ryan
Is he a
Tannehill.
free agent or is he under contract?
36 million, I think.
Carolina
Okay.
doesn't have a starter.
Yeah.
He goes
Jeez,
back to
man.
Carolina. He's not going back to Carolina.
No, I'm just naming teams that need starting
Yeah.
quarterbacks right now.
Mayfield goes back to Carolina.
Depending upon what Stafford does, LA.
Stafford's staying.
Is he staying? Okay, so
I
I'll
think
pull
he'll
them.
stay
So
another year.
7 teams right now don't have a clear, definitive picture on who their starting quarterback is going into the next year.
Washington.
There's New Orleans.
Tannehill.
8, New Orleans.
Tannehill will be there this year because he's a $36 million cap.
That's what I thought.
But
Yeah.
he's out after next year.
Okay, so they're probably gonna roll with him one more time. And
Mm-hmm.
but could someone like somebody like Baker Mayfield, you think, on the cheap, if they wanted to?
I mean, there's 8 teams out there. Someone's going to sign him.
Yeah.
I read something somewhere that there could be as much as 13 teams looking for change or swapping at signal caller.
Yeah, I mean, you could maybe
Check out the
argue
Packers.
Washington. They've said Sam Howell's their guy, but maybe.
Hey, he's
Are you-
undefeated.
You could say Atlanta, the exact
do you
same
play?
thing. They say Ritter's their guy, but
Wow.
like,
But
he
and
didn't-
how many of those teams are going to get a quarterback during the draft too?
It's not a great year for quarterbacks.
You're
Yeah,
going
sure.
what,
Yeah,
5,
Bryce Young,
5?
CJ Stroud,
Will Levis,
Levis,
yeah, Will Levis,
Anthony
yeah.
Richardson.
Richardson, and
There's one more after
who's the
that.
Tennessee quarterback? Booker.
Mike Hooker.
Hooker.
Last mock I saw, Hooker was going later, like in the 3rd round, but there could be as many as 5 quarterbacks taken in the first this year. But we said that last year, and there was only one.
True.
You know,
I
we were
think,
thinking
but I
Malik
think last
Willis
year we
was
were
going to be.
comparing a Malik to a Bryce is totally different.
Yeah,
Like
Malik
Rob was on this
was-
show pounding his fist about wanting how Malik Willis was the best prospect, and jokes
dude,
on
I
him
was
because his
too.
team ended up taking him, and he's not very good.
Can't throw.
Give him some time.
All right, so let's get into divisional games before we talk some WWE real quick. Tomorrow we got 2 games, both AFC games. We've got the Jaguars of Duval heading to Arrowhead to play the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Jags with a big comeback last week. Chiefs were off, so they are fresh. Let's discuss it. Thoughts?
They're not fresh. It's like
Yeah.
it's
Well,
like Monday
I just wanted to
morning
say
for a
this.
long weekend.
So we were having like kind of a funny discussion there in the chat that I kind of wanted to bring up. And so I don't know if you guys saw, but after the game against the Chargers, Trevor Lawrence like stopped at one of the local Waffle Houses here
Yeah.
in Jacksonville, which I just thought was awesome. And then he was like totally understood that like people are going to recognize him. I mean, he was all about it, you know, and like
Yeah.
taking pictures of people, everything. And I just thought that shit was cool. And I love like kind of the persona that the Jags have taken on. And, you know, so we were kind of joking about Waffle House should, you know, become the official sponsor or at least like buy out the naming rights of the Jaguar Stadium. Because I mean, think about it. Like, who the hell wants to be the opposing team at Waffle House? Especially if it's like a late night game? Hell no.
They could have a mascot that's like a person flipping a waffle.
And they could replace like all the burger stands and all that with Waffle Houses.
Yep.
I
Dude,
do
that's
like
the
idea
best
of a
idea.
stadium
I
name
would go
having
there for
house
the hash
in it.
browns.
Yeah. Have like
Just-
T-Law
I mean,
leading the
game
Jags
just
out of the
knowing
tunnel
they're
with
having
it.
hash
I know.
browns. So let me ask you this: do fans get drunk before the game, then, knowing that they've got the Waffle House food there after the game, or like during the game, to like sober up as they're watching?
I am telling you, fans stay drunk at Jaguars games. It is awesome. You should ask. Eric was there. You know, our good buddy Eric. He was there. He called me in the middle of the game. You know, he went to the Chargers game there. You know, against the Jags, and I mean, before the first quarter ended, he was 6 Jello shots and like 8 beers deep. Calls me. He's like, yeah, I got my fucking towel and trying to fucking hype these people up, man. But no, it's that's an interesting game. All joking aside here, I think that, you know, obviously like the betting favorite is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs, and for good
Sure.
reason. Patrick Mahomes and company. Patrick Mahomes is a beast. They're in Arrowhead, the single loudest venue probably in America.
In the world, I thought.
Well, yeah,
It's
well,
the
at a
world
minimum in America for sure, or at the very, very, very least in the NFL, like by far the single loudest venue.
Which is weird because it's not like in a geographical location that you would think.
No, yeah,
Like,
it's
if you, like, you know what I'm saying? It's
Kansas
not like
City people being loud.
it's not. Well, it's not like buried in the ground where
Can't
like it would
believe it.
echo and shit. Like
Oh.
it's literally in the middle of the fucking city next to the highway, like a normal fucking stadium. It's weird. I don't know.
But
Yeah.
it's the bigger stadium though. Isn't it like one of the highest capacity stadiums?
Well,
in
right,
the
but
NFL?
it's
Oh,
also
smaller
like-
than like 4 SEC schools.
Well, what's crazy-
I think it's up there though. It's not MetLife, but it's like on the bigger end. I think. Ryan on the
76.4 thousand capacity.
Yeah, dude, that's
So, I mean,
35,000 less than the big house.
that's a big.
But-
house.
you know, and what's even crazier about it is, okay, like it's not the biggest stadium, but it's also not like what's even crazier about it. It's not a domed stadium. So for it to be one of the
To be
loudest
fair.
venues,
no.
It is top 5 in the NFL. To be
Wow.
fair,
See,
Fifth.
yeah.
It's fifth.
it is top 5 in the NFL. It is.
What
it's
are
top
what are
five.
the top 5?
It is MetLife,
MetLife
Stadium.
is number 1, or actually SoFi on now.
SoFi, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then
but-
Arrowhead is 6. Then
Okay, well, either way. But anyway, that aside, they're on the road. They're in Kansas City against, you know, a team that's obviously known for being great.
Sure.
But that said, I'm not saying that the Jags will win. Obviously, if I'm betting money and I'm betting on the Chiefs, but I think that the Jags have a better than 0% chance of pulling off the upset.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially
I think
after
it's
last
within-
week, right?
It's got to be within the realm of possibility.
Well, and you look back to November 13th when they played against Kansas City in Arrowhead. They lost, but they didn't play bad. Lawrence went for 259, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
What was the score of that
Travis,
game?
27-17.
And you said it was when?
November 13th.
So pretty early. That's when I think
I
the
don't think the Jags
Jaguars
were even good that point. At that
Yeah,
point.
The Jags were
sucky
3-7.
Yeah.
And they've only gotten better each and every
Agreed.
week.
That's
Mhm.
interesting. I didn't realize that.
When they still sucked, like they lost by a pretty decent margin, but they didn't just get blown out. You know what I'm saying? And
No,
they've only
yeah,
gotten
yeah.
better since then. So I think that there is that, like the Chiefs cannot take the Jags lightly.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so let's
I'm
go
excited
game
for that
picks
game.
before we move on to the other AFC game. Jags at Chiefs. Rick, who you taking?
I'm gonna go last. You know what? No, I'll go first. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. My pick for this game, Duval.
Rick
I
with the
love
Jags.
upset.
I
Keith,
love
who you
it.
taking?
I'm going to take a man who has never lost on a Saturday in Trevor Lawrence in the Jags.
Ooh. Danny.
Yes, sir.
Jags at Chiefs. Who you got?
Is it who you want to win or you think will win?
Nope. Who's winning the football game?
I'll go Jags.
Ooh, Ryan. Nope.
I'm
Ryan.
going Chiefs, guys. Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
I
home.
agree. It's a great storyline. I'm
It's-
hoping Jacksonville pulls off the
Right.
upset. But
You'll be happily be wrong if
I will proudly post
100%.
this as a short on fucking YouTube so people can tell me that I'm an idiot. Chiefs win this football game. I'm sorry.
oh.
Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, too much.
Kelsey.
T-Law, Travis Etienne.
Yeah. All right, we can go ahead and stop that discussion. Anyway,
And to clarify with capacity, SoFi only has a capacity of 70,000. FYI.
No,
oh,
it's like 100,000.
I'm just
no,
going
they're
by
not an
what-
SEC school.
So Arrowhead is still 5.
Okay.
All right. Bengals head up to Buffalo to play the Damar Hamlin, maybe on the sideline, led Bills
That's
in
a
a
Sunday
rematch
game.
of a game that did not happen, except for,
Tot-
what, 10 minutes? Glad you
Totally a Sunday
recovered.
game.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm just doing AFC first. Thank you. Sorry.
I think this
anyways.
game.
Bengals at Bills.
I think this game is the singular toughest one to call on the entire divisional round slate.
Yeah.
I really
I
do.
agree.
It's,
agree.
you know, especially like given, you know, what happened just a few weeks ago between these two teams, you know, they didn't really actually get to finish the game or anything like that. I mean, even before what happened to Damar Hamlin, that was a tough game to call then. Like, you know, when we're
Yes.
making predictions of that game a few weeks ago, you know, it flip a coin. And I think the same applies now, you know, only under, you know, kind of different circumstances. But I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, just going off of recent history, the Bills didn't look great against the Dolphins' third string quarterback. So there's that. But then again, the Bengals, I
You also got to lend a little bit of credence to Mike McDaniels, though, right? Like, that dude's smart. So
he
now
is.
you've played him. This will be the third time you've played him.
He gets high on
Right.
the sideline.
He gets high on the sidelines and gets in his zone. We've all been there, most of us in this group.
What?
Like, you know, like, I don't know. I don't look at that as like a slight to the Bills. I look at that
No,
more
no.
of a nod to Miami.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find like anything that can help me make like an educated opinion about the outcome of this game.
Sure.
But then, you know, to that same point, the Bengals were it not for a freak, fumble return for a touchdown for 98 yards by Hubbard.
Hubbard
Hubbard.
returned it. Huntley fumbled.
Hubbard.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
Talking
Huntley,
the same thing. We're both correct.
Right. Huntley fumbled the ball, and then Hubbard returned it. Yes. And
Speaking
then,
of which, did you see there's a chip in the ball?
no.
Yeah.
Did you see that? The NFL released a statement. The closest the football got to the goal line was 0.6 yards away. When the
kind
fuck
of-
did they put a
what
chip in the
flavor?
football?
Well, does that mean they put a chip in it, or are you just saying because?
No, they actually
yeah,
have like an RFID.
There's
chip.
an RFID chip in the football.
Oh wow.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
It's in all the players' pads and helmets and stuff too.
Huh. I'll be damned.
Interesting.
Interesting.
But then even beyond that, Tyler Huntley throws a Hail Mary with the literal last play of the game that was razor close to being caught and sending the
Yep.
game into overtime. So, I can't really use the Dolphins argument against the Bills without
Correct.
also looking at the Bengals against the Ravens. So, again, this is the singular toughest game to call.
You see, the thing with both of those games, though, is that they're both divisional games, and divisional games are always close.
That's exactly right. That's
So-
that's another thing I was going to say is it's hard to really make an argument even there because they're both divisional opponents. So
Weren't the Bills have gotten Hyde and Poyer back, right, since before the Hamlin injury? Like they would not have played in that game, but now they are playing, right?
I think you're right.
So just playing devil's advocate, if Micah Hyde was not hurt, Damar Hamlin, would not have been playing in that football game. Because Hamlin got the start once Hyde went out. So, is the Bills' defense a little bit better now with their two top guys in Poyer and Hyde back there?
I mean, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
That's
Hyde
a hell
is
of a
out.
point.
Hyde's
on
not
it.
playing.
He's on
Oh,
injured
wow.
reserve.
The
Still.
other thing too, like,
Did he
is
practice?
They opened the window for him to come back to possibly come back in the playoffs, but currently he's still inactive.
Interesting. Okay.
I think
Go
they Bengals lost their two starting tackles in that game against the Ravens. Too.
Yes. They're banged up as well.
Yeah. So I don't know how bad they are. I know one of them looked really bad, but
Any other last second comments, notes about this game before we go into picks? Any other injuries?
I think Josh turns the ball over too frequently. He's a little reckless with the ball sometimes, especially this
Josh
year.
Allen. Interesting.
Josh Allen's a little reckless with the ball sometimes.
All right, let's call it. Bengals at Bills on Sunday at 2. Ryan, who you taking?
Riding the train, baby. Give me the Bengals.
Ooh, Cincy. Danny, who you
They're my
got?
pick.
this will be the hardest game the Bengals have until they go to the Super Bowl. I'm taking the Bengals.
Ooh. Keith, down there in your corner.
So 2 weeks ago, I picked the Bills to beat the Bengals. I have since changed my mind. The Bills look like crap against a third-string rookie quarterback in the playoffs. They're not beating the Bengals when they're this hot.
And
dey?
that dude down in Jacksonville, Rick.
Yep, we're going to be 4 for 4 here. My pick is the Bengals as well.
Sweets, I love when you guys do this to me. You have to
You
make
did
me
yourself.
be the
You went left first.
one. Well, yeah, because I always go in one direction or the other. But anyways, it doesn't
You
matter
don't
tonight.
have to be anything. You can also be correct.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it doesn't matter. This is an easy one for me. I think Cincinnati feels slighted by the NFL. The fans are reaching for a lot of stuff, like they're taking disrespect for no reason. But I think that kind of flows from the franchise. Zach Taylor is a fantastic coach. I just don't think the Bills have it in them to beat the Bengals. Give me the Bengals in Buffalo. Bengals in Buffalo. We are unanimous on that one, boys. We'll clip that and get that posted so we can see that one on Sunday morning if I can figure out how to fucking do that. Anyways, all right. Saturday evening, we've got the NFC East, no longer the least showdown. Giants
There's
at
still 3 teams
Philly.
in the playoffs.
Is the Giants-Eagles game last?
No,
No,
first.
No, it's Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Oh,
The-
there's just one game on Saturday?
No, there's
Two
two.
games.
The Jaguars and Chiefs play the early game, and then the AFC is on Saturday. So it's Jags and
Oh.
Chiefs, Bengals, Bills.
I see. You did the AFC.
No, it's
and then now
not.
you're doing the NFC.
No,
okay.
it's not. The Jags play 3:30 on Saturday.
Sorry.
The Giants Eagles play Saturday at 7:15.
Look, I'm like 8
Right.
Bud Lights in. Bud
No,
Light,
he just told
what?
Blake but we did the picks in the AFC first.
Yeah.
He's saying both games are on Saturday.
I said it one time, dick. Anyways, moving on.
You paid me
I
to
was
be here.
I was on a roll, man. I was feeling good, jiving, vibing.
Anyway,
Anyways, Saquon Barkley and the Giants head into Philly to play the Jalen Hurts, his shoulder Eagles. What are we thinking
this
here?
is another tough one.
Is Hurts still Hurts?
He's practiced for 2 weeks now.
He
Okay.
has no injury to next. I don't think.
Okay.
Saquon Barkley looked real good last week, boys.
That he did,
He's
and
gonna look even better in the Bears jersey.
as did no longer Danny Dimes, but now Vanilla Vic.
Yeah. There is no one more pissed right now than the owner of the fucking Giants. It's like, God damn it, I should have picked up that 5th-year option.
Oh yeah,
Anyone else think he looks like Woody from Toy Story?
He
Yes.
does.
he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm probably not.
I
the
remember
first one
when
to make that.
Eli Manning was still on the team. They said that Daniel Jones looks like a Disney movie character, like cast to play Eli Manning.
Jesus. Galladay actually looked decent on Saturday. Didn't look bad
Out of
against the
fucking
Vikings.
nowhere.
So glad he's still on the team. Eagles had a week off. I heard they went and did a lot of golfing.
Yeah.
The rich people do on their days off.
Not as much as like the Bears or Packers, but they did a lot of golfing. Any other thoughts on this before we call this game?
I don't think there's really much to say about
I
it.
think we're all gonna go one way on this, but fuck it.
Yeah.
We gotta call it.
Yeah.
Giants at Eagles. Rick, who you got?
Give me the Eagles.
Fly
Keith?
Eagles fly.
Yeah.
Danny,
Eagles.
Ryan, there in the center.
Man, there's a lot of scenarios I can see the Giants actually being able to win this game, but I don't think they do. I think the Eagles win, but I would not be surprised to see them lose.
That's kind of where I'm at too.
Guys, Philly's the best team that we've seen. Philly's healthy again.
Yeah.
They're getting guys back off the injured reserve. 3 weeks ago, we were all pounding the drum that the Eagles were the best team in the NFC. Phillies win this game. Phillies, Jesus Christ, Philly, Eagles win this game.
You can call them the Phillies. I don't think they mind.
I mean,
Phillies of
it's
Philadelphia.
a good time to be a Philadelphia fan, though. If you think about it, Phillies are good. They're fucking even getting better. Eagles
call
look
them
good.
Call them the Jaggies
Exactly.
and the Packies and the Berries.
Hey
That's
there,
fine,
Jaggy.
The Dingleberry.
All right,
The
so
Hawkies.
the other and
I think it's a
final
racist,
game
but
of the weekend. This is on Sunday. Thank God there's no playoff football on Monday because some team would
Yeah,
bitch
that's
about
just a-
it.
Dick move.
I do agree. I mean, I understand what the NFL was trying to do, but I didn't like it. Just play three. Let's be done with it. But anyways, the Dallas Cowgirls, led by the number 2 highest paid quarterback in the league, who threw the most interceptions in the league while missing 5 games, I do believe, heads to play the number 1 defense at Levi or Candlestick or wherever the fuck they're playing there in Santa Clara.
Levi,
49ers.
the
Yeah.
field of jeans.
This one's interesting as well. I mean, I think so. I know like Cowboys fans are going to get all hyped up because they beat up on the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers have been terrible, save for the Carolina Panthers game.
Is
there,
that the
towards
worst
back end of the
playoff
season.
team
with
we've
a
seen in like the last 5 years?
By far. I mean, Tampa didn't even look like they were trying. There was not a single. There was like I think 2 throws by Tom Brady where they looked like, oh man, like they're really trying to play football. But then there was this play. I mean, CeeDee Lamb wasn't even run, like he just walked up like 10 to 12 yards, turned around, caught the ball, and walked into the end zone with nobody within like 15 yards of him.
Yeah.
See, this
Like-
is one of the reasons why I strongly was against even it helped the Seahawks this year with expanding the playoffs, because they're still having, every couple of years a team with the losing record going to the playoffs. It doesn't make sense to where it's like, oh, you're a team that goes over 500, you're probably going to go to the playoffs. Anyway, sad, right?
Yeah, but I think it's like, I think a reseeding makes sense, but I think you're always like that division champion, no matter what. Like,
yeah,
you
no matter
always
what they're
want
going
to
to
win your division, right?
Right.
So,
But when you
no
have
matter if
that
you win
many
it with
teams
if
going to
you
the
win it
playoffs,
with 3 games because the other 2 teams or 3 teams in your division only win 2, fuck it.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. But you add that with nearly half the teams going to the playoffs now, it doesn't mean as much now,
Yeah.
It's a
Sure.
fair take.
Anyway, it's over and done with now.
My question is Dallas going to be the best defense that Brock Purdy has played all year long?
Yeah, hands down.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean,
By far.
it's going to be interesting to see. I know Micah Parsons messed his shin up a little bit. I don't know how much that's still weighing a factor. But yeah, no, I would say that Dallas is the best defense that he's played this year.
But also on Dallas's defense's part, I mean, the Bears rush for 200 against them. The Packers rush for 200 against them. Debo and CMC? Are you just going to run through Dallas's defense? Like, Brock doesn't
tough
have
sell.
to be great.
It really
True.
it's
And
a
I
tough
think
sell,
we saw
but
that in the first half of the last game. Like, Brock tried to be the guy and do things that he doesn't do.
Mhm.
And Seattle was in that game, and it was like they went to the halftime, and Kyle was like, "Bro, just chill. Get the ball to Debo, get the ball to Christian, just chill." And all of a sudden, next thing you know, you see these little dump offs, and now the Niners are just rolling.
But does that speak more of their ability to make adjustments?
But what if the adjustment is do what you should have done in the first place?
We don't know. Do we know that that's what the adjustment is? I mean, I assume a lot of that stuff is just going to the locker room. Like, okay, here, this is what we figured out. New game plan. This is what we're doing going into the second half.
I mean, Kyle Shanahan's great at halftime adjustments. I'm not doubting that. But I'm saying is, if you look at the Brock Purdy games before the Seattle games, it wasn't him having to be a dude. Like, he didn't need to be the guy that saved them. All he did in that very first game to come out and beat whoever they fucking beat like 44-10 was dump the ball off.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying is if it's is it a halftime adjustment or does it go back to the original game plan? Like maybe they saw something on Seattle and like, look, we don't know if we can get the short stuff. We got to push it deep.
Yeah, I think it was. I honestly think a lot of it was just game planning because the people he was throwing to, it wasn't just like, hey, throw into double coverage, trust these guys. It was whenever after the second half, just throwing to people that are, open by a good like 5-10 yards, So I would, maybe because I'm a Hawks fan, I would say I would put that to, changing the game plan, and making those adjustments, like as a play call.
Well, yeah, I mean, because it was obvious, right? Like we saw a different second half than first.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's interesting. I mean, either way, like this is going to be the best team that Dallas has faced offensively or defensively all year by far. I think maybe even more so than Philadelphia.
I think Philly's 2. San Fran's one defense rankings, I believe.
Yeah.
Right.
We looked that up. So yeah.
That team, it's crazy too, because this is, there's never been a rookie quarterback to take a team to the Super Bowl, like even to make a Super Bowl appearance. And I think, let alone Mr. Irrelevant, I think this current 49ers squad is the singular closest. Well, whether he wins, goes on, whatever, come whatever may, I think that this is the closest or the highest likelihood that we will ever see something like that happen in our lifetime.
I actually have, given my pick a little early, but I have the 49ers going to the Super Bowl.
Right. So do I.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fuck it. Let's just do these picks then. We'll start at the top.
49ers.
We got the Dallas, Mike McCarthy, Jerry Jones led Dallas Cowboys in to Santa Clara, not San Francisco, California, to play the 49ers. These two fuckers both just took San Francisco, however the fuck that is.
The Cowboys name will never come out of my mouth.
We're going to go to Keith. Keith, who you got?
I'm never picking the
He
Cowboys.
said Cowboys and cum in your mouth.
Yeah.
All in the same sentence.
Never. The 49ers offense is just too good. Brock Purdy's going to do just enough to not lose the game. He's not going to look as good as he has, but he's going to get the job done. And then move on.
Rick.
Yeah, I think it's going to be actually a fairly low-scoring game, a very gritty game. But I think that San Francisco does come out on top. I don't think that they have enough offensive weapons to threaten that defense. They have Tony Pollard and CeeDee Lamb as, you're kind of two featured weapons in that offense. Dak, every once in a while, he'll get out of the pocket, run around. Okay. And Michael Gallup every once in a while will make an appearance. But I think, punch for punch, San Francisco just outclasses them at pretty much every position other than maybe you could argue the quarterback. Dak is obviously a more experienced quarterback. You have to give the nod to Dak as far as that goes. But everywhere else on that roster, San Francisco has an overwhelming advantage on every single roster spot outside of quarterback.
You don't think that Dallas has a better kicker?
Oh, absolutely not.
I mean, that's awful.
I hope
Yeah,
it doesn't come to the
kicker.
late game.
To include the kicker.
I'm gonna go with all you guys. I think it's San Francisco. I don't think it's close. I don't think it's even close. I think San Francisco ends up beating them, 44-14, something along those lines.
Yeah.
I think Dak Prescott can't handle the pressure when he tries to play in the big games and do too much. That's when we see Dak Prescott throw 2 or 3 interceptions a game. You cannot afford that against San Francisco's defense. You can't do it.
No.
I look for San Francisco to jump up early.
And to your point, I think that he doesn't do well against teams that can pressure him.
Correct.
And correct me if I know this is a terrible example because they just played in Tampa, but other than this Tampa Bay game, they also kind of have a tough time playing on grass. They play a lot better on turf. And if I'm not mistaken, Levi Stadium is a grass stadium. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is a grass, unless they changed it recently.
No, it's grass. I just don't even think it's close. I think Bosa goes off. That defense is just too scary. I mean, it ends up being a game where Dak turns it over early, and they've got to completely abandon the run. Tony Pollard is their best running back. He's not going to get a lot of touches because they're going to be down big and early. I don't see it. Like I said, I think it's a 44-14, 39-14, something where San Francisco gets up big and early, and it's boring. I think this will be the most boring of the football games this weekend, to be honest with you.
I think I actually disagree on that end. I think it's going to be a pretty high-scoring game. I think it's going to be like something like 35-27. I don't know if those were football numbers they add up, but
you think a team's going to put 35 points up on San Francisco's defense?
No, I think San Francisco is going to put up 35 points. So I think Dallas could put up 27 points.
Right now, Vegas believes they've got the line for San Francisco at
3.5.
4.
For you.
Yep. And then the over under is 46.5.
Yeah,
So they think it's going to be close and somewhat low scoring.
Yeah, I have no idea how those odds work. To me, when you say like 47,
That just means like total points scored by both
Points.
teams.
Yeah.
The last Dallas game missed the over by 1 point.
Wow.
Wonder what could have made that go over.
35-21.
One of
I'll go
them.
35-21.
just one.
Yeah. Actually, 20 because of their kicker. He's going to miss another one.
And it's
All
gonna be
right.
first.
So last thing before we get out of here tonight, some wrestling news. Keith, we got
Wrestling.
Royal Rumble next Saturday.
Wrestling.
We had Bray stuff tonight. More creepy shit. See if we get more Alexa stuff and maybe a big announcement on Monday for Raw.
Has that Bray dude wrestled, or is he just trying to be a ghost?
He's not had an
not had a match yet?
on-screen match.
Oh, he's not going to have one here either. That's what this pitch black thing is. It's going to be somebody else. It's going to have a
We're just
stunt
gonna be
double.
looking at a black screen for 20 minutes.
And just
No, there's gonna be some
wait, no.
flashlights in the stands.
They're gonna cut the mics to only the ring mics. It's gonna be black, and it's just gonna be 20 minutes of man meat slapping. There's just
ASMR.
no crowd noise.
Danny's
just
like, where
them.
can I download this at?
I'll pay for that.
All right, so what do you have got the Bray Wyatt LA Knight match, right?
Yes, sir.
We've got Kevin Owens and Roman
Reigns. And you
And
got
then we
Bianca
got
versus Bliss.
Alexa and Ronda.
Bliss.
Or Bliss.
No, Bliss.
Bianca and Bliss.
Get Ronda's name out of your mouth.
I wish she was in my mouth.
Oh, gross.
Say what you want. I don't want a broken arm.
Have you seen her husband?
No, but he'd probably break my arm too. So it'll be it's interesting, right, Keith, that we've seen these storylines kind of build up, and now Bliss and Bray are both in combat at Royal Rumble
At the same time.
at the same time as we've seen Uncle Howdy. So I really think this is like the come to a head point.
I hope so. It's been going on for way too long.
Uncle Howdy.
Huh?
It's a creepy character that's going on right now. We don't really know what's going on with it.
We
get,
really don't. We get like 30 seconds every 2 weeks.
That's weird.
They give us like just enough to make us like tune in on Friday night to see if we're gonna get more, and then we don't get more. It's sweet. It's a lot of fun. But we
Really?
didn't get
This feels real mid-90s goofy.
a sale to the Saudis.
Hey,
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. So we win that one.
Save us, Disney. Save us.
Yeah, no lie. Do you see they're selling ESPN though?
whoa!
They're selling it, yeah.
Disney is
Wow.
selling ESPN. Disney
Just
is
saw
No
Disney.
kidding.
Yes.
Wow. I did not hear that.
They brought a financial partner in, and they basically said it's not worth the time and money anymore. So
Does that mean I
Wow.
lose my ESPN subscription?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's nothing is happening anytime soon. I assume they've got contracts to get through, but they did announce that they are selling ESPN or looking to
who?
sell.
And ABC.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, they're selling.
Did you think I was giving out
ESPN.
bad content? What the fuck, man?
Oh, check this out. Sorry, I
God,
don't mean
fact
to-
checked you.
So he didn't comment on the actual channel here, but I believe Jason LaRoche is watching the show because he said, "Why can't I comment on the show? Did y'all take that away?" So no, not to my knowledge. I don't
Nope.
think we took it away.
Comments are still alive, and he's not even banned.
But
Why isn't he
he
banned?
wanted to comment, but he wanted to comment, but he says that's 5 marked targets because we all chose the Niners over the Cowboys. Sorry, Jason.
Oh God.
Hey, Jason,
Oh no.
I'm gonna go ahead and use a line out of Keith here. As your reigning champion, acknowledge me. Can't wait for my trophy to come in. It's gonna be somewhere over there.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Pump about that.
and I spent my second place prize money on some Highland
Ooh.
Park 12-year Scotch whiskey.
It's a
Ooh.
really
Yum, yum,
pretty
yum.
box.
And I had some extra money left over to get some bourbon and some beer.
Nice. I got beer as well. I sent a picture, I think, of what I got to Rick, but we're not going to talk about that live on air. All right, so last thing, Keith, let's go through entrants that we've not discussed for the Rumble.
Ooh.
And then don't forget, boys, next Friday night we are picking a number for Keith's game.
69.
Two numbers.
Oh.
Two numbers.
You'll pick two
Or you
numbers,
can have
one
one.
for the men's, one for the women's Rumble.
I got something before we go too. Just
No.
Yes,
just remember me. Oh, is it my turn now? Before
No.
when we get
No.
to after we're done rustling. Just
Yep, I know.
So-
I got you.
Okay.
After we're done wrestling.
Ooh.
Mouth
So
wrestling.
tonight,
Gross.
Chinese tongue wrestling.
Shut up, like he thought.
Sorry.
I can't talk over him. I'm not loud enough. So tonight, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, who is a beast, and Karrion Kross, all declared for the Rumble, and Sasha Banks for the women. So they
Wait,
got all-
Sasha Banks?
I'm sorry, Zelina Vega, not Sasha Banks.
I was going to say, how the fuck did I miss Sasha Banks?
Sorry. Selena Vega is what I meant to say. And Shayna Baszler announced tonight. Yes, that's why you have to pick two numbers. There's a men's and a women's. So there's two games we're gonna play.
You think Liv
It's
goes
not a
in one?
lingerie rumble, is it?
Like the
It's not-
football
it-
league?
Yeah,
Danny,
good old days.
if number one is Liv Morgan, you will thank us for tuning in.
Oh, really?
Yes.
All
I'm
right.
gonna watch it.
She's a baddie. You're more than welcome here, Ryan.
We should do a special Saturday night live stream where we're watching it
Oh.
with the audio on the stream
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
and reacting together.
You're more than welcome here, Ryan.
All right.
Okay.
Just to prove Jason's an idiot, the test did work.
Testing.
And it's from a different YouTube channel. So
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyways, so looking forward to that. Danny, go ahead with your announcement.
Yeah. February 3rd. I'd say acquaintance. We've hung out a little bit, like in the pits a little bit. David Smalls, from BattleBots, the driver of Banshee, is coming on to the show. And chat with us a little bit right before his match that will be shown on the Discovery Channel on the following Thursday. So
Nice.
if you're watching,
Ooh.
yeah, come hang out, ask David some questions, ask about Banshee. He's gonna be fighting Valkyrie, so
oh wow.
gonna be pretty cool.
I'm gonna have
So
to watch
you guys
Vision
should-
pretty
BattleBots
awesome.
before that,
Yeah.
so I don't sound like an idiot.
His if you have Comcast, you should go like on Discovery Go or on demand and find the second episode this season. He fought, and we'll ask him about that. He went against Switchback, I think is what it was. And
Cool,
it was
that's
his,
fucking names.
yeah, it was his debut, like first time in BattleBots. I don't think I've ever fought him before. I've been in the same division with him in like 3-pound divisions and 1-pound division. I think we were in together. But I mean, I've chatted with him online a few times. I've like met him in person and chatted him a little bit. He had a really small robot with a flamethrower that was pretty badass. And yeah, he had he didn't win his fight, but it was a good fight. He was winning the first minute, I would say. And it was like when I went to the judges, it was like, I think he lost, but I could definitely see a case where he won if the judges swing that way. But yeah, so it's exciting. Yeah, he's
That's
coming
awesome.
on
That'll be
here, so.
exciting. We like to
Yeah.
That is really cool.
always like to bring on like the non-typical sports, right? Like we have Chip that comes on from wrestling, and
Mm-hmm.
our buddy Alec and stuff like that. So it's always fun. We always like to hear about that stuff. Then we're gonna wrap it up tonight. We're gonna get out of here, guys. Don't forget, if you are interested in hosting your own sports show, hit us up at Let's Talk Sports or the BAM Sports Show. Any of us are happy to answer any questions for you, connect you however you'd like, whatever. If you use Amazon, click the link in the video below us and help me upgrade this piece of shit mic. You can prevent forest fires by not
Yeah.
smoking a bowl in the woods. Smoke it inside. It's too fucking cold. We'll see you on Tuesday. Boys, thanks for joining.
Bye.
Later, guys.
guys.
Go Jags.
All right.